Welcome to the Sisterhood of Sweat. It's Let It Rip Friday.
Hi, I'm Linda Mitchell, 54-year-old elite obstacle racer, award-winning fitness competitor, gym owner, and author. Welcome to the Sisterhood of Sweat podcast, where we will approach the difficult topics of life, interview inspiring guests, and bring empowerment to all. This community is a place where we can be who we are instead of who others want us to be. Let's get started.
And now, a word from our sponsors, Essential Formulas.
Hi, this is Frankie Boyer, and I don't know about your lifestyle, but some days I need roller skates. My lifestyle is crazy busy, and I'm pulled in so many directions. It takes a toll on my health. That's why I am proactive. I don't go a day without my Dr. O'Hara's probiotics. It's just that important to me. As the expression goes, the road to good health is paved with good intestines. Dr. O'Hara's is not just a probiotic supplement, it's a complete flora balancing system, helping to bring your body back into balance naturally. Doctor recommended, made with organic ingredients, dairy and gluten-free, and needs no refrigeration. Perfect for travel. I believe that Dr. O'Hara's probiotics are the best probiotics on the market today. To learn more about Dr. O'Hara's probiotics, visit essentialformulas.com. Dr. O'Hara's probiotics are available at Vitamin Shop, Whole Foods, Sprouts, and other fine health food stores nationwide.
Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and write a quick review. This helps the Sisterhood of Sweat get noticed on iTunes. And I truly appreciate your support so much. We have been consistently hitting top 100 and top 50 for the last 6 months. If you want to help get my message out even more and impact more people's lives all over the globe, please post a picture of my show and tag me at Sisterhood of Sweat on any social media platform. It would mean the world to me. It is my goal to create a like-minded community of women who build each other up to create huge wins in their businesses, relationships, and life. Every Wednesday and Friday, I will be dropping a new show to ignite your life, fuel your passion, and give you the courage and confidence to go after what you want unapologetically. If you could see the big vision, you would push harder towards it. Whenever we are thinking about goals in life, it's a tendency to pick the most comfortable, the thing we know that we can do and easily reach, because the big goals are scary. The huge goals, the big dreams make us have to get out of our comfort zone and feel uncomfortable. And I'm going to go as far as to say as any huge goal, big dream, or even if it would be, I want to lose 100 pounds, which is a big goal. To get there, you are going to have to get uncomfortable. You might even have to get extreme. And I remember back when I first looked into getting out on my own and I ran across, I always think everything happens to us for a reason, and that God goes before us, behind us, beside us, and in front of us. So I believe that God directs our paths. And I don't think things happen just by chance. I think they're by design. So I'm looking for a studio. I find the perfect little studio for me, my starter studio to get started. And then right down the street, I'm leaving this place I've been in building my business for 5 years that had everything I needed, which was 50 yards of sprint turf, a weight equipment, and we could run a mile outside because there was a school and a track next door. And I fall upon this little studio. It was the first thing that I got excited about that I had been looking into, because the guy that ran the business decided he wasn't going to have private contractors in his business anymore. And so that's what I was, a private contractor. And I had been leaning towards building my own shingle, my own business. That's what I've been doing for 5 years. Before that, I always worked in gyms and I coordinated aerobics and I personal trained, and I was always under building somebody else's dream. And I remember when I started thinking, I put all this blood, sweat, and tears into other people's dreams. What if I just took all the blood, sweat, and tears that I have and just put it forward and focused into building my own dreams? And so I could have chosen, I had a few choices. I could have coordinated at this gym in Dayton. They wanted to hire me and personal train, but it was going to be far, a lot of traffic. And I could have went to this other place that was giving me like a sweet deal to come in and do personal training and teach classes. And so I had options of things that would have basically been the same, pretty close to the same that I was always doing. Or I could take a little bit of a leap, have a little bit of confidence, and take a jump into the unknown, which is out of your comfort zone, and just see what opening this little studio would be like. And then down the street, I stumbled upon what? Sports turf, which was actually bigger than the place that I had been. And lo and behold, it was a church, and I was able to get a deal and come in, and I taught my boot camp in there, and I rented the little studio for 5 years. So it's like I do everything in these 5 year increments, all this change. And so we were in that studio for 5 years. And I remember one of the clients coming to me about a space because her husband's in retail, about renting it at a couple spaces that they had. And I remember each time it was either more that I thought, oh gosh, I could never do that. I remember the one space thinking, oh gosh, I could never do that. And it was uh, more than I thought I could bite off. I was scared. I just couldn't see it happening. And at the time, I think either my son had just he was in high school, maybe his last year, or he was in college. So both are big transitions, and your expenses are high if you're helping your kids through school. So I just didn't see it, right? The timing wasn't there yet. But you know what? God was there. God was directing my paths all along, from every job I've ever had, from every experience, to bring me to this place where I am right now. I can see his hand upon my life. And I bet if you look, even in the hard times, you can see that God's hand is on your life. So rest assured, you're exactly where you need to be. You're not behind, you're not ahead. And just trust in the process of what is your life, and be open to miracles. Be open to prosperity. Be open to taking risks and having faith and belief that if God calls you to do something, that you have the tools and you have the capability and you can figure it out. Like Marie Forleo says, she has a book called Everything is Figure Outable. And that is the truth. Maybe you don't know right now. Maybe you don't have the skill right now, but you can learn and you can evolve. Or, you know what else? Do what's in your wheelhouse, do what you're good at, and hire somebody else to do the work you're not good at. And lately, I've seen that, not to get off on a tangent, but I've seen that so true just in small things that I've had in my business where I would have had my husband do it, but it would have taken him, an hour or 2 hours to do what, when I had an expert, I just said, hey, can you do this? Because it's what they do for a living. They did it in like 5 minutes. It would have took us together forever to get these tasks accomplished when we were moving, when I wanted all my TVs and my cable and all the things hooked up all the way from one part of the gym to the other. I just asked the cable guy, hey, my Wi-Fi has not been working since we moved. What? And he figured it out really fast. What we had unplugged something, and then I said, "Hey, would you mind to just hook these TVs up if you have time? If not, I can set another appointment." And he was like, "Sure." And he hooked them up within minutes, and got them all out of the way. They were an eyesore, I thought. And so, like, that's the difference, having an expert do the things you don't have time for, that you don't do on a normal basis. It felt so easy when we moved. I thought it was going to be a lot of work. I thought it was going to be hard. When I had to get the TVs hooked up again and all the little nuances, I thought it was going to be hard. And really, it just was easy, guys. It was just easy. So I think just knowing to get help, ask for help when you need it, and realize that when you are doing something that you don't know how to do, if you can hire some experts or get some help, it goes a long way to making everything what? Figure outable. You don't have to do it all by yourself. You can get help. And that's the thing, is sometimes when we're thinking about our vision and our big dream, we think that we have to do it all by ourselves. And so we're only thinking from our small, limited perspective. And then the other thing is if you have a God idea and you've been called to do the thing, don't think it isn't your limited perspective anymore. It's a it's a God idea, which is so much bigger than our ideas and our plans and our goals. So when you have something like that, run with it and enroll people in your vision. It's bigger than you know, and God is taking you somewhere. So you just have to trust Him that when you take the leap and you take the steps, that He's going to take you to the biggest, baddest, not, you know what I mean, greatest place you have ever known. When I mean baddest, I mean coolest, where you couldn't even envision that you could possibly do that. And when you get there and you're doing it, you give Him a little thanks and just be like, thanks, God. You know all along I could do this when I never saw it in myself. And so when you have these visions like I had, and it was a small vision when I was just envisioning, I wanted to create what I needed once upon a time, which was support. I wanted support when I was in a rough situation. And I wanted a place for women where they could have a soft place to fall, and they could let their hair down and they could be themselves and feel like they had just a support system. And it's huge to have that, you guys. It's so huge to have women that support women and empower each other. And so, like, these were all the things that were in my heart that I wanted to create. But you know how it is. You want to create something, you might not be sure how to go about what it is, putting it into words. But as soon as I got the vehicle, which was the studio and now the gym, and now we increased and grew again, it started happening. And the vision has become a reality when you have people telling you, I feel more myself. I love coming here. It's my happy place. Or I love how I can let my hair down when I come to your gym for women. I love the support and the camaraderie. And it's just like everything I ever dreamed that it was going to be and more. And we're just barely getting started. We're just barely getting started. We just touched the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. And oh my gosh, right? I am like doing way more than I thought I could ever do in my own limited thinking, in my own limited mindset. You just don't know what you can do until you start trying and taking the steps, and one step leads to another. And wouldn't it be cooler to just go after the dreams and visions? It's so much cooler. It's badassery. Sorry to use that word, but I just mean like when you have a dream and a vision and you get to see it coming to light, there's just nothing like it. So it doesn't compare to staying in the same place, staying in a rut, doing the same old thing you've always done, doing it the same way, drinking the same coffee, walking the same route. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to get out of your bubble. You got to go take a trip once in a while and let the breeze flow through your freaking hair. And like the last week, my husband and I were in the convertible, and it's Saturday, our day off together. We'd love to go do an outdoor workout, usually the track. And I was like, honey, why do we have the top down? Like, why do we have it up? Let's let the top down. And I'm like, I always like to feel like I'm on vacation when I go to and from work. I put the top down, I put my shades on, and a hat so my hair doesn't blow, so I don't look like what the cat drug in when I get to work. So my hair blows, but it's contained. And so, like, he was like, man, uh, that was so relaxing, honey. Like, just those simple things that you get out of your box a little bit and say to yourself, "How could I make this more enjoyable?" Like, if you're dreading work or you're stuck inside, get out of your bubble. Get out of your bubble. Even if it's having to just be in a convertible that you drive every day, let the top down, turn the music on. Do something to shake up your environment. If you hate your environment, go get a painting, or better yet, paint the walls or do something crazy. Shake up your environment. Otherwise, you're not electric, you're not charged, you're not vibrant, and you're not going to be full of energy. It could be Dudsville, really, right? If you're just doing the same vanilla life every day. I'm not saying that you can't have an original, but just spice it up a little. That's what spice is for, right? I think a lot of us during COVID have realized that there's more to life than being behind the four walls at work or even indoors for that matter. We need connection. We need to get out. We need to get out of our everyday environment. A friend of mine recently just took a trip and it was just a few days, but it made her realize like, I don't want to work forever. I want to have more fun like this. But you know what? You could work, but then if you just took those little trips, it makes life, I don't know if I want to say more doable, but it just brings you to life and makes you realize what your life really is about. And it consists of the good times, the relationships that you build, the friendships that you have, the excitement and adventures that you go on. And think of life as an adventure. You want to have plenty of adventures and life experiences. I think they're worth their weight in gold. To me, I don't want to just have a bunch of money and materialistic things. I want to have experiences that someday when I maybe am not able to do all the things, I can just look back on and bask in what I accomplished and what I did, and just someday when I'm 6 feet under, knowing that I left a legacy and I did things. I didn't just sit in my bubble, and I did things to feel proud of, to know that I made a difference when I walked this life, to know that I helped somebody, that I encouraged somebody, that I empowered somebody, that I gave someone support that they needed when they maybe were going through a rough time. And those are the things that makes your life matter. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed this rant today. I'm letting it rip. That's what it is. Let it rip straight from the heart. And I hope that you think about the dreams that you have and you realize that just going after your dreams in life, even if you fall down a few times, is way better than sitting back worrying and letting your mind being in your brain, overthinking it, instead of getting into action. Because when you get into action, if something isn't working, you can pivot. You can be, as Lori Harder said today in her podcast, be nimble. Jack be quick, Jack be nimble, something. Jack jump over the candlestick. I probably botched that totally, but you know what I'm saying. You can pivot, and you can always recreate. You can always go another direction when something isn't working for you. And it's worth it to go after your dreams in life. And additionally, the big game changer in my husband and I's relationship was, first of all, we went to this Lisa Nichols conference where I told him what my dream was, and from the heart, because before I don't think he really understood. He probably thought I was a crazy person. Why I was doing all the things I was doing, he just didn't get me. And when I told him my heartfelt dream and I cried, he got it. And he told me his. And what do you think I got from that? I got support for my dreams instead of somebody fighting me on my dreams. And you can work so much better together when you understand what your partner wants, what their dreams, hopes, and dreams are, what their fears are. And we started setting goals together and having common goals of things that we both dream for. And we started supporting each other on our dreams. And that has changed our entire relationship. It's made it so much sweeter and so much better. And my husband is my best friend. So I just think these things, they matter. Contemplate them. And if your dream is being a stay-at-home mom, do it to the full. Do it full out. Live your life full out. No holds barred. I hope this inspired you guys today. And if it's weight loss, set that goal. Get out of your comfort zone. Nothing good came out of it. So if you want to lose weight, set that goal. If your diet isn't working, change it up. Do your homework, do your research, and be accountable to either a personal training coach like I am, that has experience like I do, or somebody like a class situation. You guys could come to the Sisterhood of Sweat. You could go to a gym if you feel like you had a buddy, a support. Find whatever, like send your photos to somebody that you're like, hey, I want you to see these photos every week of me in my bikini. Please don't put them out there in cyberspace, but I need accountability. I'd love to be that accountability partner for you guys. So DM me if you're interested in that. But I just think get out of your comfort zone, believe in your dreams, and go after them. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. P.S. I almost forgot to say this. I went from being the person that thought and worried and was afraid and thought things over forever, let me say for freaking ever, whether I would do the leap, take the jump, scared to death, forever, you guys, I would think these things over. I went from being that person that didn't know if I could take my friend's space because I just didn't know if I could do it, to being the person that's driving down the street today, seeing a gym as big as Planet Fitness, saying, someday I'm going to own a gym that big. So it's crazy, but every leap you take, you start realizing you can do more than you ever dreamed. So I just want to leave you with that thought. Bye, everyone.
And I hope that all of our listeners have enjoyed this podcast. And if you guys have really enjoyed this, please review us in iTunes and also share this episode with your friends and your loved ones. Thanks again for listening to the Sisterhood of Sweat.